everybody, it's Paige Evans and I'm so excited to be the guest designer for the April 2019 Hip Kit Club. It's full of Horizon and other exclusive items and it was so much fun to work with and I couldn't wait to create this mini album. So let me show you how to create one too. I started with a 12 by 12 sheet of white cardstock and I trimmed off the barcode strip, and now I'm going to score at every 2 inches horizontally and vertically. Guess I'm doing vertically first, and then I'll rotate it and score every 2 inches again. And this divides it into 36 2-inch squares, and then I'm going to fold on the score lines. I'm folding it accordion style and creasing the edges with the tool that I used to score. And this just makes the creases nice and crisp. And then I'm going to grab my paper cutter and find the middle, so that's at 6 inches, and I'm going to trim all the way down to the last line. So if you cut all the way through, you'll be left with 2 pieces, but I just went all the way to the last line and stopped. And then you can fold it over. And I'm going to turn this into a pocket. So I'm using super sticky double-sided tape on the bottom edge and the right flap, folding this side over, and then you're left with a pocket in the middle, and that's where I will add some tags for journaling later on. And in the kits you can find my Horizon 2x2 paper swatches. So one is filled with phrases and the other is filled with patterns. I'm using the phrases first and placing them onto the 2-inch squares. I have not figured out the final placement yet, but I wanted to get an idea of what this mini album would look like, and so I just placed most of the phrases throughout the album. And then I used Adobe Photoshop to size these pictures just under 2 inches square, and then printed them at home on my Canon, it's a Pro 100 printer, and trimmed them out. So now I'm going to add the photos in between the phrases. And again, this isn't the final placement, but I just wanted to get a basic idea of how I wanted this mini album to look. So then I'm coming in with the pattern swatches. They're also 2 inches square, and going to place them in most of the open spaces. I think I ended up with 2 or 3 open spaces, took some things off. And I know these squares in the mini album that I scored the lines for are 2 inches apart, but that would be a pretty tight squeeze, and so I'm actually going to trim down the phrases and pattern paper 2-inch square swatches just a teeny tiny bit. I don't even know what measurement this is. I'm just trimming off a tiny bit, so they're just under 2 inches square. And then I'm using adhesive to adhere them in place. Normally when I'm scrapbooking, I like to vary the depth of adhesive. For instance, I would use foam squares to create dimension, but since this album is getting squashed together, having not very much dimension is a benefit. So I'm just using plain adhesive to attach everything in place. So I went through, glued everything down. This is the final placement of where I'm going to have the pictures and phrases and pattern squares. And then it's time to embellish. So this is the fun part. I'm coming in with stickers from my Horizon collection. There's also an exclusive puffy sticker sheet with phrases and sentiments and hearts. So I'll add those here and there, filling in some of the gaps, adding, just embellishments here and there, hearts, more flowers. And so inside the pocket, I've decided to add some tags. I didn't end up using all of the tags that I just showed you just then, but I do use 2 of the tags from the ephemera die cut pack in Horizon. Moving things around, not using any strong adhesive until I figure out the exact placement of where I want everything. These are the chipboard stickers from Horizon. So again, I don't want it to get too thick or else this album will just be way too bulky. Not that I don't mind having a bulky album. I do love when things are thick like that, but I did keep the thicker embellishments like these chipboard stickers and the puffy stickers to a minimum. So adding a couple chipboard stickers here and there. Decided I wanted a flower behind this sticker. And then on the sides of the pocket, I added a couple more of the phrases and patterns. And I left the top square on the left side empty and the bottom square on the right side empty. Hope I said that right. I get my lefts and rights and ups and downs confused. When I'm creating the voiceovers for these videos, and hearts and flowers, I also get those mixed up, so you know what I mean. Adding a flower from the floral die cuts here, and then folding it up, and it still folds up pretty nicely, so that's good. I never know when to stop when it comes to embellishing. I feel like I could keep going on and on until I've added tons and tons, so there's a fine line between too much and too little, and I don't know if I accomplished it, but I like how it turned out, so it's all good in the end. Alright, so then I came in and did some machine stitching, and I machine stitched through most of the little stickers and phrases, and I varied between a running stitch and a zigzag stitch. So here you can see I stitched lots of things in place, especially the puffy stickers and the chipboard stickers. And then inside the pocket, here are the 2 journaling tags that I decided to use. And so I will write journaling about all these precious moments with my daughter Jane. These are taken over the past year or so. She still likes getting her picture taken, so I will take it and run with it. And I'm just numbering these 1 and 2 so you know which one to start with. And I love those dark blue puffy alphabet and number stickers that come in the Hip Kit Club kits. Alright, also in the April Hip Kit Club, there are these transparency, colorful alphabet die cuts. So this is how I created the title on the front of the mini album, You and Me. And I'm using a little dab of adhesive to attach everything in place. And then I did run it through my sewing machine, which required peeling off the papers and photos from that first section. So then I machine stitched through the letters to attach them in place, and then added the paper and photo back in place. So to keep the album closed, I used a piece of ribbon for my stash, and then these cute charms which come in the kit I'm tying onto a piece of baker's twine also from my stash, knotting it onto the ribbon so these create some cute dangly charms, and then I'll tie the ribbon into a bow, and that keeps the album closed. So this album is 6 inches tall by 2 inches wide when folded up, and it's about 3/4 inches thick, and I will just flip through it really quick for you so you can see how it looks. So it's super fun how it expands and closes into an accordion shape. And then remember, inside the pocket I've got my journaling, and I loved putting this together. It came together super quick, just the better part of a morning, and got this video done, and I'm so excited and thankful to be the guest designer for the April Hip Kit Club. Be sure to check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon.